All right, here we are. We are here again on our second podcast on All Gains Mindset, and I am Andrew.
And I'm Mike.
And I'm Nick.
Hi. And we're back for a second time. And today's topic, we're going to basically talk about how the world has changed and
how we've changed
over time. Yeah,
this is a great topic because it definitely had changed in the past. I don't know, 20 years or so we've been on this planet.
Well, yeah, I've been here on this planet 24 years so far.
Oh boy, has it changed!
Things are changing every day. But how you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing all right. I'm just living every day.
What did you do today?
Went to the gym.
Oh, you did? Oh,
I did. Good. Yeah, really early. I was there really early in the morning.
What, like 6?
Like 5:45.
5 a.m. Oh, jeez. See, most people don't even wake up until like.
Yeah, I left there like almost like 6:45 because I only did I was only doing like real conditioning and abs, pretty much.
You can't go wrong with abs. How about you, Nick? How you doing?
I had a fantastic day. I finally mowed my lawn after like a month of putting it off.
Oh, that's fun. Not bad.
Hey,
oh man.
How about you, Andrew? What did you do today?
I what do you call it? Went to work, my usual stuff, and then got a good workout in, and so can't complain.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Worked on a couple things, and here we are today.
Wonderful.
Well, I mean, what do you call it? Yeah, there's been a lot of changes in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And especially like I've noticed a lot of people around me, for the most part, have been changing drastically. I guess the early 20s of people's lives is when things really take a turn could either be turn for the best or turn for the worst. Everybody is like, we're doing different things. Some people going for their careers. Some people are stuck not knowing what the career will be, and some people are
have families and all that stuff. People just sit at home and play video games.
Yeah, there are some who just never really
18, 17.
Some people just go backwards in life.
I think there's a lot of people who are still playing. Like, it's so easy today to just chill out and play video games. It's like,
sure.
I mean, you technically could just say, forget the world. I'm gonna just play my PS4 and not. You could basically go your own way and just kind of do nothing. You could technically in a world like this.
We have the freedom too.
It's definitely a good escape to like get out of today's society, especially how today is definitely. You could just go home and be in your own little realm of your inner circle of people and what you like to do.
With the advantage of the internet, you could literally do nothing. I mean, you can make an online business and do nothing besides your little. You could literally hang out at your home, create a little online business, and sell something hopefully worth buying. And
we're millennials, and technology has advanced so much in our span of when we went to grammar school to now. I mean, I remember when the first iPhone came out. Do you remember that?
Actually, I don't even remember when the first iPhone came out. All I remember was dial-up on the computers.
I remember going
on the AOL on the old PC, the big box. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that's what I remember.
What was it? It was America Online. Was the first internet browser I ever went on.
Yeah,
and it was on the Windows. It was like a Windows 95 or Windows 98. Remember those things?
Bro, I had a KOL when I was a kid.
What is KOL?
It was like AOL's version for of AOL for kids.
How does that work? What, they restrict?
It's very restricted.
Oh my God.
I remember it thoroughly because I had one and that was my first email, and I emailed one of my friends. Remember Ethan? I emailed him. I used to email him from that email and stuff.
I remember AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh, the AIM.
Yeah. AIM. There was one screen name. Remember, mine was Andrew1230, so I'll never forget. There was one screen named Smarter Child.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was that.
It was a bot or whatever. Right?
It was a bot, but everybody would talk crap to it, and then it would just respond with "Oh, why would you say something like that?"
Yeah.
And we were just like, they start cursing at him and
our teenage angst.
Yeah, and then one day they shut that bot down.
Yeah.
Which was actually. I think Smarter Child was a lot of people's only friend.
Yeah, for real. We would just
express our anger. And they took him away.
Express our anger to it, and
then technology just went off from there.
Yeah,
it's and now we have
got drones all over the world controlling the place.
It's funny. There was a drone just today at my job, and it was circling over. And one of my coworkers told me that drone is some guy stalking his girlfriend. Apparently, yeah, because these drones can spy on people for 4 miles away. So apparently some guy got this drone to watch over his girlfriend and make sure she wasn't cheating on him.
Oh,
This is true. So yeah, I'm serious. And this drone would follow the girl around wherever she went, and she had to be within 4 miles from her boyfriend. And if she went any farther, then he would basically get like pissed off at her, and he would start.
That's terrible.
Like you could actually get drones because you could program the drones to follow people.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So you could actually stalk someone. That's how technology has improved today.
That's actually very scary.
I know. That's why whenever I see a drone in the air, I'm making sure there's no conspiracies against me. Because someone's always going to try to come after me with something, I guess.
You got Amazon drones delivering everyone's mail. I've never actually seen one.
Yeah, no, I've never actually seen one either. I've seen the what are those drones? I've seen them in Florida. I don't remember. They're not mail drones, but like they send government things. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what specifically their names were.
Uh-huh.
But I've seen them in Florida. They're really weird. And they're like very small. These things are really, really small. They're like not your conventional drones. They're like really, really small, and they send like these little things to. I seen it go to a Air Force base.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff that's being sold. Like, did you know that there are actually sex robots now?
Yeah,
apparently, and like sex dolls.
Yeah, in Japan. Well, I know that there was a lot in Japan right now.
I bet you got a few pre-orders put in.
Ha ha ha. I mean, can you imagine just the fear of not going outside so bad that you have to... I mean, imagine getting a sex robot in the mail.
Dude, everybody...
Imagine you live in an apartment where you have to share the mail with like multiple people, and and you order that through there.
But these sex robots actually look like
real people.
Yeah,
and they're made of silicone.
Yeah, and they have sex dolls too that you could.
I swear, technology is making humanity lazier and more stupider.
It should be helping us progress.
You ever saw like WALL-E, the movie, where like the Earth is like fat and everybody can't take care of themselves?
Yeah, where everybody's fat, which seems to be what we're going into.
It's like that. It's gonna go into that
sooner or later.
It's very sad.
Yeah, it's really I always watch that movie and I'm like, yeah, this is probably gonna be us in our lifetime. This is really sad.
If we don't get the word about sugar, we're all gonna end up like the world in WALL-E.
Yeah, the whole place and the whole Earth is a dump.
Yeah, well, the problem is that everybody's polluting.
Yeah,
and especially if you look at a lot of the waters, like we live in an area that is easily connects to New York, so. Like the Bay Area, and you always see like cans and stuff in there, especially on the beach. On the beach too.
Yeah, like the Jersey Shore back in the day used to be a place where everyone wanted to go to, and now you look at it and it's all shitty because I guess like not even just like our generation, but like the generation previous, and they just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, we don't. It's like we don't care.
They just like cigarette butts and cans and
the more technology improves, it's giving us the opportunity, not it's the opportunity to be lazy. And
absolutely.
Because it's like instead of going out and running and maybe hanging out with your friends, you could do like a group thing, a group chat, like a video phone call, or you could do like Twitch, stuff like that. You could literally spend days on that. Yeah. If you're not making money from that, you're just wasting time sitting down and online you can't do the body language. You cannot have like real connections with people like you can on the in person.
In person, yeah.
The internet is not the same as in person.
That's honestly why I don't like talking to people over the phone, because I'd rather talk to you in person. Like if I want to use my voice to talk to you, I'd rather talk to you in person. Yeah. Other than that, I'd send you either an email or a text. You know what I mean? Like if it's not that important, I'll just send you a text or send you an email, whatever. But if it's important, I want to be there, looking at you. Seeing your body language, seeing how you're reacting to whatever I'm saying. And vice versa.
That's how we've, came together as a human species, is by collectively hanging out and sharing ideas in person, not over the internet, over a screen. Things. Yeah, a screen is no substitution for in-person contact. Yeah. That goes for friendships, dating, all that kind of stuff. People should be together. Absolutely. Human contact is essential. It's like being isolated for too long could be very bad for the brain.
It helps your sanity.
Yeah.
Realistically, if you're stuck behind a screen all day, you're eventually going to go insane.
Well, that's why I think it was like the first prisons in the 1800s. They would take the prisoners and they would isolate them like for long periods of time, and over time the prisoners would get extremely insane just from not having to talk to anyone and share their thoughts, and that could bring a man or a woman to insanity.
Yeah, you
not having human contact with anyone.
You really need the social exercise, all that good stuff.
People will go to extreme lengths until People go to the extreme lengths when they're stuck like in such isolated. They will create people. They will create people that don't exist to talk to, and that's why they look insane. Yeah. Like I've seen a lot of articles of people that in Siberia they have like that that thing where they put you like in the ice box or whatever, where it's like not cold enough where you freeze to death, but it's cold where you just can't bear it and it feels like you're dying. People will literally create people that don't exist just to talk to and to make them feel like warmer.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy shit.
It was like Tom Hanks in that
when he made best friends with a
Wilson.
Was that a ball? Was that a beach ball?
It was a volleyball or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, that could actually happen if you're like that for a long period of time. And a lot of individuals are doing that. I think nowadays is you could literally sit in your house and just be on the internet all day and looking at Twitter and arguing. Yeah. You can just argue with people with the internet all day, and that never helps.
No, it doesn't help at all.
Back in the old days, they had to just meet up and fight if they wanted to settle issues.
Yeah.
And now you could just name call over the internet and make things all better. Sure. That's sad.
Yeah, and I feel like it just doesn't help kids nowadays because kids are like when we were a lot younger, probably like 10 years ago, when the internet was still it was still trying to mature into what it is now. We had Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and we had Xbox Live.
Ah, the good old days.
And we would trash talk each other, us 12-year-olds.
We'd cry.
We screwed each other's mothers.
Screwed each other's mothers, and said all these crazy things. If we said that to somebody now, they'd be on the phone with the police, coming to our house.
I'm offended.
They'd be trying to find your IP address. Remember that video that was some Nigerian guy and he was pretending to like threaten people?
Yeah. I seen that. It went viral on Facebook like a year or two ago. That was really funny.
I will find you and something like that. And he was like, you ain't nothing. He's like, I'll come find you and he was like, here's your address and he was like, how'd you know that? And they get scared, little kids.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Xbox is when people would get really offended though. That was
But those are awesome times though.
Oh yeah.
Low key, those were actually really fun times. But nowadays, like you can't even have that fun. These people nowadays are.
It's stuff like that shaped us into what we are today.
Yeah, and like if we do that now, like if they did that now, it's not going to do that. It won't shape it won't harden them. It doesn't harden them like how it hardened us. That stuff will just make them softer.
Add that to the fact that kids are not getting disciplined like they used to. Times are changing with that. It's like parents are trying to be more friends than parents. So like a lot of these kids are being treated like they're like more what's the word I'm looking for? They're being treated like more royalty.
Yeah.
By their parents and like little girls. I guess you could understand giving your little girl the world and buying her stuff. I mean, I think there's a difference between little girls and little boys, but I think little boys are being just as like they're being just as like
because like the thing is that at least how I look at it is that you don't need to discipline them like hard.
You don't need to punch them in the face.
You don't need to take the belt out. You don't need to throw
them if they really act up.
If it's bad, if it gets to that point,
it worked for me.
That should be the belt should be a last resort.
It worked for me, so I mean.
I never had to deal with. I only had to deal with the belt probably like once in my life, and I was really bad. And after that, like your brain should just be like, okay, I should probably never do that ever again.
Not good, yeah.
So I won't get the belt. That's the whole purpose of being disciplined, is so your brain can just be like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that again. Let me not do that so I don't get that.
I was sent to the corner a lot.
Oh yeah, well I'm pretty sure everyone was sent to the corner. At least once or twice if they were bad.
Well, once or twice.
Nick, were you sent to the corner?
No, I've never even heard of that.
Have you ever been disciplined? Like, have you ever been smacked?
Absolutely, I have. I live in an Italian family. They use like house.
The wooden spoon.
Wooden spoons.
The wooden spoon. That's the tool.
It doesn't seem to be happening as much anymore. A lot of parents are going easy on their kids.
Like I was never fully disciplined, but like what my parents did was they talked to me, and they tried to flip it in a way where where I would understand what I did was wrong, and that I wouldn't do it again. And I don't really remember the rest, but it was pretty much more threatening than anything. Because my dad is scary. My dad is a scary man, especially when in his prime. And so when you see a scary man, talking to you.
Naturally, you're being...
And you know that you did something wrong. Yeah, you bet your sweet ass you ain't gonna do nothing like that again. So that kind of helped me not get discipline.
But there needs to be a certain discipline.
But no one's. But like the thing is that no one's gonna do that. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you're bad. You're bad."
I would.
You're like you're a bad kid. You're a bad seed. But they're not gonna do anything for it. They're not gonna give because every action has a reaction, right? So if the kid did something bad, then you must react properly to that. And if you don't, then they're not gonna. Then it's just gonna happen. Sure. If you don't do it the right way, if you don't react the correct way, the action is gonna happen again. For you not to do it again, and it's just gonna be a cycle. And that's why you see kids in grocery stores or in public just having meltdowns. And I was watching a live stream the other day, and this guy that does streams, he was in Disney World for like a week.
Yeah.
And he said that where he was staying, he was next to a family, like in the room next to them. They had like a door separating them, and so the last day that they were there, they heard like all the kids screaming. It was like 7 a.m.
Oh,
all the kids are screaming.
Early, it's too early for that.
And the dad was yelling at them or whatever, and the mom is freaking out. She's crying.
What?
The dad takes the 2 kids. The one kid's still there. Then the one kid starts screaming again. And then she starts crying. Oh, everything's ruined. You know.
Oh my
and like
God.
it's stuff like that. You gotta
Florida life.
You gotta really. you gotta be able to discipline like these kids, especially when you go to places like Disney World. Oh my God.
Yeah, the kids are little rascals down there. It's insane.
The kids just need to be disciplined in general. They need to be disciplined properly. You know, parents just need to know how to discipline. That's all.
Yeah, and if you don't get disciplined, you grow up into like a douche, and you don't have like a lot of respect for society or people.
Yeah, and people won't have respect for you because of how you act. Usually.
Add that to the fact that not many people will also like stand up for themselves, and there's a lot of pushovers out there.
Yeah,
there's a lot of disrespect that I see around, like, wow,
very much
crazy,
very much.
Don't you see that a lot? Like, just the disrespect around.
And like, you know, it's so funny. I thought our our year of school, like when our class, I thought we were so disrespectful. But now I see the kids now, and I'm like, wow, we weren't even that bad. Because we were bad. We were really bad. Like some of the kids in our class were really, really bad. But like we eventually matured and grew up over time. But these kids, oh, there goes one of our cameras.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good.
They would just these younger kids. They're just, you know, they're doing everything wrong, and they're not doing a good job disciplining them. We came out fine, I think.
Sure.
We stood up for ourselves like crazy.
Yeah.
I think. I know a lot of kids that stood up to teachers and, you know, like, you know, trying to not, well, I guess for wrong reasons, but they knew how to stand up for themselves.
I think maybe that was the problem though, because it's sort of our influence on like the younger kids, and like, oh, they're acting that way, we could start acting like that way too, and then now it's
but they take it the wrong
point.
way. That's the thing. I feel like when sometimes when younger kids look up to people, they take it the wrong way. It's like telephone. It's like trying to take whatever someone did and repeating it, but you're not doing it they're not doing it the same way. Sure. I feel like that's how it is sometimes, because like sometimes someone could be doing something noble, and a kid can see that, and then he does something where he thinks he's doing something noble, he's not.
Sure, and that probably what the last generation before us said the same thing about us when, you know, we were growing up.
Yeah,
just how nature works. Gotta adapt.
That's how it be, man. I mean, high school.
Oh God. High school was a terrible but great thing at the same time.
High school was when I was the most fat. I was a balloon.
You were. Sorry. I cannot deny the facts that are out there.
Well, because the problem was like the school food that we had was literal garbage.
It was honestly garbage. Except for the fries. The fries were actually really
good. The fries were garbage, but they were good garbage.
They were good garbage.
They were good tasting garbage.
They were really
You could literally go in the dumpster and find those fries. But they would taste good.
I mean, yeah, the pizza was cardboard and it was terrible.
It was crazy because I would have the lunch, and then like an hour later, I'd be falling asleep, and I'd be like, "Why is this happening every time?" And then I'd be like, I only realized years later, well, the carbs that I was eating during lunch, and the cookies, and the calzones, and the pizza were creating, and even the milk would create these sugar crashes. So technically, you won't focus as much in school if you eat the school food.
That's why I had I kept my lunch as like the last period lunch that you can have. So like the last lunch for us was the second to last period of the day. So I had lunch, and then my last period was gym. So I ate, I got sick by running around, and then I went home and went to bed. Took a nap before work.
Remember when Michelle Obama said she wanted to make school lunches healthier?
That was after us though.
That was during.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, whatever she was trying to do.
Their first run as president and the first lady. That's when she said that was going to go through. And then they implemented it, I think, in 2012, and we were still in high school.
Michelle Obama has failed.
Okay, maybe like the last couple years of ours was during that time.
Michelle Obama literally failed at that so bad because our school food was trash. It tasted good, but there's a reason that it tasted so good.
Yeah,
there's a lot of sugars in there.
Yeah, sugars and.
I mean, I had like 9 cookies when I probably should not have had any. It'd be
probably shouldn't have anything.
It'd be like $1 for 3 cookies, and I'll have like 9, so it'd be $3.
High school was definitely what everyone always said it was, and it was the redemption point of our life, the revelation point. I mean, of our life.
It was like, how they say that when you get out of high school you're gonna miss it. I cannot relate.
I can relate.
I miss
the free education. I miss the free food, and I miss.
It wasn't free.
The exercise.
Not for us.
I mean, I go to the gym on my own, so I don't care about gym class. But I don't miss high school. I miss what I did after school. I miss that.
Yeah, honestly, I miss that. I also miss before school. When we'd all hang out before class started.
Oh yeah, because you and your friends would get to meet up before classes actually start in the morning. You get off the bus, meet up with you have like about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes of talk time, and go over.
The memories. It was great.
We had the huge group in the little thing.
And if you got lucky, you'd be in the same class as some of your friends, and you can,
senior
cause
year.
havoc.
Senior year was great when the 3 of us were together.
Yeah, fun fact: Mike, me, and Nick, we were all
in first period English.
Yeah, 8 a.m. English class. Well, it ended at like 8 something.
Yeah, it was like school started at 7:25 and it ended at 8:16. That period.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was so horrible.
I remember when we watched The Lion King.
We watched The Lion King. We watched with Robin Williams, Dead Poets Society.
Oh yeah, that's
that was the great.
That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing that you could do. All right. You wake up in the morning. You wake up super early in the morning, right? You're tired as hell. You go to school. Sit on a bus, like, oh, I'm super tired. I gotta go to school. Walking to school, and then they sit you down for an hour and a half to watch a movie. First thing they do.
Yeah, that
the worst thing in the world, and that just destroys you throughout the rest of the day because you're nothing but dead inside.
I enjoyed it
because you want to sleep.
Yeah, it was a perfect time to sleep, especially when we worked.
And I think we were working. I think I had the first period lunch on senior year because I think I went to lunch right after that fucking class. I remember that.
Well, you had vote, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was early in the I guess my freshman and sophomore year. Mm. Good times.
Yeah.
And then like after school, we would hang out and then we go to McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you cannot escape from the bad food.
Yeah, especially when you live in walking distance from fast food restaurants, like 2 of them right next to each other.
Yeah, so sometimes we do McDonald's and then sometimes we do Wendy's.
Yeah, and then we had a Wawa that was a little farther.
Yeah, sometimes like more rare, but we'd still go to Wawa. Sometimes get like subs. And...
Yeah, and I would just eat goldfish.
Change it up a bit.
I would just eat like a big bag of goldfish, and we would just sit right in front of the dumpster and just eat. Degenerates that we were.
Oh man, I remember. I won't say his name, but remember when one of our friends. Remember the story about him getting like in front of the candy cane.
Oh no! Let's not bring that up. Oh, that's terrible. That was a terrible thing.
That was a great day.
Oh yeah, because he was. Yeah, I remember now. With the cop. Yeah.
You guys will say.
Yeah,
that was his name. You just say what happened.
Yeah, the cop.
Our friend was.
Canes. He threw candy. It was like it was around Christmas time, wasn't it? It was like
yeah.
It was like late December. It was and he we went into Wawa and he was and he came with us and he was sitting outside and then it looked like he was sleeping, so a cop like threw candy canes at him and said Merry Christmas, and then we came outside and we were just like, what happened? We didn't even know. But yeah, because we honestly thought he was in trouble. And so we were just like, "What's going on? What's going on?" We were all panicking, and it was not a big deal at all. But yeah, that was a.
I miss those days.
When we were young and naive,
the fun parties and it's so rare to have the same people you went to high school with you in today's world.
Yeah, it's very rare actually. Having at least as many as we do.
Yeah,
that are still together.
We're fortunate enough to have like a brotherhood.
Yeah, a small handful of people throughout our lives still stick with us through
the hard times.
The hard times.
The dark times.
There are very few survivors.
Honestly.
But the ones who stick by you throughout the years are the ones that are, they're worthy of your presence. Your
closest friends.
You'll need them.
You may need them one day.
Because it's so hard to form like trust within individuals these days. You have to really vet people and try to realize who you can and can't trust. It could go either way, and a lot of people will go and try to basically backstab you.
Yeah, we've had a few of those.
Give them a chance.
We've definitely had a few of those in our time.
Everybody has their own agenda, definitely.
Of course.
Everybody's agenda is more important to themselves than they are in everybody else's agenda. So definitely when if you meet somebody who does have the opportunity to stab you in the back, there's a chance they might. Because it might not just fit their lifestyle.
Yeah, like we've all had our own agendas, but like we've always stuck around for the better good. At least
we learned to make our agendas dynamic enough
to accommodate everybody, and and it works, and it worked out.
Sure.
We have no regrets at the moment, at least not
regrets.
We have no regrets
at the moment. Yeah, it's time well spent. With the right. We got lucky in that aspect because I know there's a lot of situations in which people betray others and it creates a lot of friction.
Sure.
And like it could be so simple as just like stealing someone's girl and then they get into like a lifelong fight over her and that stuff does happen and it's like people forget about the bro code or people a lot of individuals forget what it means to be a friend.
Yeah,
it can go either way
because they become so what is that, thin-sided, whatever. They become so sided on one little thing, and that if it doesn't go their way, then everything is just ruined.
One-sided, you mean?
Not one-sided, but like like horses, they have the things where they can only see one way.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, for some reason I'm stupid and I can't remember these words. Mm-hmm. I probably should have been an English major, so maybe I would have.
If you paid attention in that English class.
Yeah, maybe if I paid attention, maybe I would. Oh man,
paying attention, yeah.
But that's how I feel like it is. Like especially when you're really young and you're very naive, you don't really know. Sure. Really, you haven't learned enough in life yet. Because we're not 50 yet, but we are. We're almost a quarter of a century old. So I mean, we've gone through a good amount. So we at least have learned something.
And then when you finally get it, finish school and do all that, life's gonna hit you like a big ass steam train.
It's gonna knock my socks, bro. I'm gonna be hit with a freight train.
That's when it's time to get your shit together.
I'm trying to get my shit together right now.
It's so hard. It's so hard during these times to get your finances in check. Like if you like know what you're doing career wise, if you know what path you're going, it could be easy and you can get your own place with the right career and salary. But there's so many of us that are, especially in our age group, that are lost. We're trying to find like our path, but it's getting so hard to find out what a lot of our paths are, because there's also so many roads you could take in your life.
Yeah,
many.
Because I feel like there's so much opportunity for people to do that. Like when they're little, you know how when adults would be like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" and you always have that in your mind, and then you also see other things that you're really good at that you want to do, and you want to do all these multiple things, and that's what I feel like. That's what also holds people back, is because they want to do this, but they actually want to do this. And they become conflicted.
Sure.
And they don't know what they want to do, and that's what makes them lost.
Yeah, finding your passion has become.
But like I know people that wanted to do one thing, stuck to that one thing. That was their goal, and they knew, and that's what they went for. You know, people now that we went to high school, now they live, you know, in West Guam and doing their work, doing
saving
the job.
The world, and we're just here.
Because there are like so many people I see from high school, and they'll stop in my job, and I'll say hey to them, and I'll ask them like, "What have you been up to the past few years?" And they'll tell me, "Oh, nothing, just working," or they'll and I'll say, "Working where?" And they'll tell me this restaurant that they just waiter in.
Just trying to get there.
It's like they're just trying to get by. They're not trying to go further.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of our people that are in our great age group that are in that situation right now, where they're kind of stuck in this place and they don't know where to go.
Yeah, that's like the majority of
it's
us.
killing them inside.
Yeah.
And you can tell by their face and by their body language that they're a little upset when you ask them how you're doing in life, because they want to tell you that, well, I have this nice Nissan GTR, I have this great car, great house, great family, but all they can really tell you without lying is that, well, I work at this job and
I can't wait for our reunion. That's gonna be really
see
good.
where everybody ended up. And with the economic situation we're in right now, it's a little hard to get by unless you like know your career, or you might be in a crazy amount of college debt right now, and that.
Also, the cost of living in our state is
atrocious. That's crazy in itself.
It's not
in the New Jersey.
Yeah, welcome to New Jersey. Yeah. One of the greatest states in the world.
It's definitely the passion that you need to be successful.
The problem is finding that passion.
I am a firm believer that passion has changed the world more than intelligence has.
Probably, yeah. You're probably right.
People who are passionate about doing something are the ones that go out there and get it done.
And the people that had both are the ones that we look up to.
It's like if you want to do something, you gotta go get it if you really want it, but you have to be willing to take that risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid to take that risk because first of all, they're probably afraid of what others might think of them, and to that you really, who cares?
Yeah,
everyone has their own problems.
We literally show our faces.
Yeah.
And we show our faces around our town. Sure. We post this all over the internet where we all have all of our friends. Sure. We don't care what they think. We want to give out this information because we know that
there's so much information that is so vital, and it could literally has the potential to save life. You know, you could literally, especially in the world we live in today, where everybody seems to be more depressed. Yeah,
and all their hormonal imbalances, I feel, is a big problem with a lot of people too.
In my opinion, there is like soy, for example.
Yes.
I think
it's a big problem actually.
I think soy.
See, okay, so they're laughing because Andrew and I talk about soy all the time and how bad it is, and everyone just laughs at us.
Nobody believes us when we tell them, "Hey, your testosterone might be lowering because you're eating all these foods with soy in them." And soy has what is a soy? It has that thing in them.
Soy.
It's the hormone that estrogen.
Yeah, it has those estrogen. It has
which is what women have.
It's the compound that encourages estrogen.
There's a
estrogen. Estrogen.
There you go. If you eat soy, you're a soy boy. Don't be a soy boy. There ended discussion.
All right, Nick. Yeah, thank you for that, Nick.
Don't be a soy boy.
So pretty much, if you have too much soy, it's gonna raise your estrogen levels, and which will then lower testosterone, which then people that are most men you can hear it. You can totally hear it in your voice. Your voice will get higher.
Yeah, it's like stop eating the soy products. It's making you into a girl.
Your nipples will get raw. Yeah, it's terrible. It's a terrible thing. I've done a lot of research. Okay,
But what's the thing that the soy has that influences the estrogen? Look that up real quick.
I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
I wanna get back to the conversation we had before about how everyone's failing or doing good in something.
Well, failure only makes you stronger. But if you take fail as like it's too late. I'm done.
You have to fail before you could succeed. Albert Einstein failed a mathematics course, a semester in college or something like a long time ago. Albert Einstein, the smartest man in the universe, failed at something that has to do with math.
Okay, well, Thomas Edison tried like 1,000,000 times to get the light bulb right, and the millionth time he actually got it right, and because of that we have light.
In the States, New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey was the first state to have the light bulb.
We were. That's why we have such high property tax.
It's because all the soy.
It's because all the soy.
It has to be the soy.
It has to be the soy.
But yeah, failure is not a roadblock. Failure is
necessary.
Failure is necessary.
You need to fail in order to succeed. You're not going to go into the gym and automatically bench 300 pounds plus. You're not going. You need to work up to it. You need to fail at everything that you do. I know that.
Sure, you do a lot.
I have failed. I failed so many things, and it's made me so much stronger.
We all have.
I've been, I failed in relationships. I failed college classes, unfortunately.
Many times.
Yes. I failed high school classes. I failed, people. I failed so many things. But all these failures have made me into a better, stronger person with a stronger mindset. But if you are afraid to take that risk to fail, then you won't learn anything.
Your failures are your experiences. And experience is what you need.
Okay, so soy contains 2 isoflavones, genistein and daidzein, which act like estrogen.
Oh, so yeah.
Because estrogen which is the female sex hormone, which everyone should know. I mean, if you took sex ed, estrogen plays a role in everything from breast cancer to sexual reproduction.
So that's where man boobs must be coming from.
Well, yeah, and you get a lot from you get a lot from like breaded chickens and stuff.
Well, yeah. So everyone needs to cut out that soy and stop being a soy boy.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to call it, because it's causing problems.
No soy boys.
Yeah, no soy boys allowed in this podcast.
You put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which actually reminds me of this channel sponsor.
So we're gonna take a break real quick and do our channel sponsor. So this podcast is sponsored by All Gains Apparel. Definitely go to allgainsapparel.com and check out our merch. We're actually working on a book for a keto diet plan, and we're also going to be releasing a blog on the website, so definitely be there and check it out.
Yeah. Also check out, for everyone who's watching this on video, these are one of the shirts that we have.
Yes, that's what I was just showing them before. We have hoodies, tank tops, shirts.
Yeah, the hoodies are actually very comfortable.
I'm working on hats. I'm trying to get that fixed. We were having a problem with hats, so I'm trying to get that fixed. I got socks, mugs. We got some cool stuff on there. Definitely check it out if you guys ever have a chance.
Guys, winter is approaching soon, and you're gonna want to be cuddled up with your partner or partners.
Yeah, multiple if you need it, and you'll definitely need some hoodies. Yeah. If you're a man, your woman will be stealing one of your hoodies, so definitely buy 2 just so you can keep one. Because you definitely know they're gonna take one.
Exactly, and they're gonna like it because it's very comfortable.
Oh yeah, so comfortable. I was wearing it almost every day. Well, I had to keep washing it, but it's really comfortable. And and definitely follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we're gonna come back.
Yep. So
no more soy boys.
No more soy boys.
Yeah, cut that stuff out.
# no more soy boys.
If people knew the dangers of what they were eating and what it was doing to them, then we'd have a different world. But we live in a world where commercials are right now winning the battle.
Oh yeah, that's another topic.
The media is winning.
Oh boy.
So much controversy.
The government.
The government. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of.
Welcome to the capitalistic society where businesses are in control of the money going into the government.
TV lets you see what they want you to see.
Yep.
And if you
radio does the same.
If you disagree, no one will find your body.
Mm-hmm. I have knowledge of this. Oh, you're dumb. This person went missing today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, will never be found. Yeah. # Clinton got rid of what's his name?
God. Epstein? Is that who you're talking about?
Oh, is that that's the latest?
The pedophile guy, Epstein. The guy with the
Who's the guy that just
the
died in jail?
Yeah, Epstein.
Yeah.
He's the guy that had the island that the Clintons went to. Don't kill him.
Please don't kill me, please. Yeah, this is why we don't talk about politics.
Some say that was the last they ever heard of Nick.
This is why we don't talk about politics.
Yeah. Politics is not really our strong suit.
Yeah, but the media and the companies themselves, they try to blind us with false truths on a lot of things. It's because it makes them money. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, it'll just make the money. They know what will make their customers attached to it. Mm-hmm. And that's what they'll do. They'll make them try it. They'll get attached, and then that's it. Mm-hmm. It's over after that.
Yeah, like big corporations and big pharma are taking control of pretty much everything right now. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because for those who don't know, I currently am community college and I'm taking a nutrition class, and my teacher in nutrition was talking about diabetes and insulin, and she didn't mention solutions about how to better your diet. She didn't mention anything about that. She only mentioned that you need to get medicine and you need to move more. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Means
I was like, so Big Pharma has complete control of your mind.
Yeah, so pretty much
Big Pharma, you're telling all these kids.
Big Pharma is bending you over and giving it their all, pretty much. And that's pretty much what they're doing, and it's so sad because in a nutrition class where you talk about food, you're not even explaining food, like ways that food can help, and literally there are ways that food can help.
Yeah, the solution for this teacher was to eat less and to move more, and it was also to get medicine, because medicine is the only thing that can help type 2 diabetes.
Spend $700+ on insulin when
and that's okay because insulin makes these people money, and people need jobs, right?
Yeah,
right.
Big Pharma.
So
it's a double-edged sword.
What happens if you don't get medicine? What if you don't have the money for the medicine? What do you do?
But what if the doctors actually cured you and not just gave you things for you to get latched on?
Well, when
all these drugs that people are now abusing.
Nobody really has the cure for everything.
How do you know?
Nobody has a cure for diabetes.
They probably do. You know what the cure for diabetes is? A healthy diet.
There's a prevention of diabetes, but once you have it, there's really nothing to cure.
You can reverse it. You can reverse it.
You can reverse it over time. If you keep, it's not an instant reversal. Over time, it will.
If you keep your insulin low, there's actually been people who have reversed their type 2, type 1 diabetes.
There was that guy wasn't there a guy that had terminal cancer and what was keeping him alive was the ketogenic diet?
Yeah, there was also a woman who had Alzheimer's, I think it was, or it was one of those, and she with the help of a healthy diet, she actually got a lot of her memory back, and that's very interesting. It was like an older woman. I forgot what country she was from.
I'm definitely gonna say we do need vaccines and modern medicines.
Well, yeah,
because back in the 1600s, the average lifespan of a human being was 40.
Yeah, no, because we're not saying don't vaccinate your children. That's not what we're saying. We're saying is
please vaccinate your children.
Please vaccinate your
please.
Yeah, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is
bubonic plague is gonna come back.
I mean, if it comes down to it probably should. But what we're talking about is is that when Big Pharma has the cures to certain diseases, right? They don't give you the cure. They give you things that snuff the cure enough, that snuff the problem enough, where you have to come back. That's how they make money. Because if everyone was fine, then they wouldn't be making any money.
Well, if you had the cure, they would not be making as much money.
Because then they would sell $7 billion worth of it, and then that'd be it.
There was an article I read. There was a man. I don't remember his name. It was an article I read maybe a couple months ago. There was a man who was a scientist, who claimed that he had made the cure for cancer. Guess what happened to him a week later?
I have one damn guess.
I don't remember why.
Wait, did he get killed or did he commit suicide?
I don't even remember. think he may have committed suicide. So they claimed he committed suicide.
Yeah, Epstein committed suicide too.
That's on another note.
But do we really know?
I don't remember, but research.
Do we really know anything?
Who it was? No, we don't know. There is some secret in this government, in the United States of America. There is some secret Illuminati, group of individuals pulling the strings of everybody. I'm not saying it's Illuminati, but it's
somebody knows something, and I want to know what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Really? Bringing up the
some say that was the last they heard of Andrew K.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to be silenced by the big government, so that's just great.
Literally. And I can't with you right now. It's so sad because if they want profit, they want their money, so they're just gonna suppress the sickness, and when you get it again, they're just gonna suppress it more. And then because that you're on it so much, you're gonna get addicted to that, and then once you get addicted, then you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And that's what happens. And there's nothing you can do because you don't because you wouldn't know that if there was a cure or not, but you know that someone does know. Someone has to know because it's freaking 2019. Do we know the cure for the common cold? Do you know if people have said that there is a cure for the common cold?
We've landed on the moon, and even people say that's fake.
Yeah, we weren't born during that time, so we wouldn't actually know. But the people there,
You never know. It's the media,
Yeah, the media controls
everything that any information that ever came out ever is controlled by the media. All right.
That's what I'm saying. The news dictates what you see and what you don't.
Every media source is biased to something.
The power of editing.
The power of editing too. Money is coming in from somewhere. Media sources swing one way, swing another way. It all just depends.
Well, yeah.
Who's giving them the money?
What was the war that finally told people what was going on, in the war zone? Remember when
Vietnam.
It was Vietnam.
Because it was the first televised war.
Yeah, so people actually knew what these soldiers were going through.
Yeah, and that's when
people saw killing on their cable boxes at work.
Yeah, real stuff, and that must have been frightening back then.
Yeah, and that's why now there was a whole big controversy with Vietnam and onward,
and look how far we came. That was 60 years ago. Look at what we got now. We got flying drones that are bombing people in third world countries. We got technology has advanced so well in that 70-year gap, but between now and then, medicinally, I don't know. I think medicine-wise hasn't really advanced that.
The internet seems to be the thing that's advanced the most.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Forget about it.
It's crazy how things have really progressed.
Yeah.
Kind of progressed, but they haven't.
It's scary.
They've progressed and they've regressed a lot, I feel.
Because think about when we're old and we're in a retirement.
Oh, God, that's going to be scary.
What it's going to be like then.
Well, I'll probably be hitting you with a cane.
That probably will never change. Being friends like that. But we need Neil deGrasse Tyson on those podcasts, man. Sure. He'll go crazy talking about the science of everything because he can explain almost every single thing.
Isn't it crazy how much we don't actually know about the universe?
We know nothing.
We know nothing because
we know probably 0.1%.
Anything outside of the world we know nothing of. It's crazy that we could be this little speck.
We are.
Technically, we are. As of right now, the universe, nobody knows if there's an end. It could be infinite. So far, everybody claims it's infinite. So it could be say infinite. There is an alien. Scientifically, yeah, it's not only possible that there are aliens on another planet, but it's impossible that we're the only life on the universe.
Yeah, well, there technically is life on Mars. They're microorganisms.
Do you think any of those UFO sightings are real?
That
they took.
This sort of goes into our last podcast too.
With Area 51,
I think the government is hiding something to protect the people.
Wait, hold on.
I will say that.
Do you remember? You remember ever hearing about the Canadian Prime Minister talking about that aliens exist and he was gonna if he became Prime Minister?
And what happened to that Prime Minister?
Well, he didn't get elected, but but he was talking about what he knew about aliens and stuff from from the 60s and
Bernie Sanders said the same thing too. That was an article or something. He said he was going to spill the beans on aliens if he got elected.
Oh, no wonder he's not getting votes right now.
Yeah.
The Clintons got him again.
He's a bit crazy, Bernie Sanders. He's a little bit too far on the left, but that's besides.
Do you think anyone is going to be able to like match up to Trump in this election? Like, is anyone going to get even closer? Because it doesn't seem like he has a lot of competition right now. Joe Biden is being labeled as a creep. Hillary Clinton is a man.
Hillary Clinton's not going to be in the 2020.
Well,
she's not running again. There are a lot of strong candidates, but the news media and the outlets and everything, I'm not going to be biased towards anybody. I'm a very independent person. I'm not biased towards anything. I think Donald Trump is the strongest candidate for the 2020.
It seems that way.
Which is really weird. But like,
I don't
subscribe.
see anyone that goes. It doesn't.
I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's bad. He is the strongest person.
Because he's already there.
Does anyone match up to him though? Like get close? Who's comes the closest? What's that guy? Andrew Yang is like the.
I barely even know who he is.
This is why we don't talk politics.
Yang is okay. The problem is Andrew Yang doesn't really fit anybody's agenda. He's like in between. He's
like his own thing, I guess.
He's also an independent, which is a problem because the Democrats aren't going to support him, and neither the Republicans. He's not going to get.
Only the people are going to support him.
Only the people, and the people are worth nothing.
Yeah.
In the political.
Do you? Let me ask you this. Do you only know that because he has the first name as you?
No, he was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, I was making sure because wouldn't surprise me.
The way the United States' electoral college is set up, no other country has done this. It is the stupidest thing in my opinion.
Well, isn't that how Trump won? Because Hillary
Clinton won the popular vote. More people voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump, but more states voted for Donald Trump than the people did, and that's why he won the election.
It's crazy to think about. I mean, it's like I don't know. I'm half and
because
half.
Donald Trump won the important states. You could win the election with only winning 16 states. That's it.
Yeah.
As long as they're the right states.
Yeah, the big boys.
The big boys.
The big boys.
I don't remember who they are. Don't ask me.
They're mostly yees, but no offense, but the bigger states got the bigger number of electoral.
I know California and New York are one of them.
Oh yeah.
I think
in Texas.
I think Texas. No, Texas has like I think Texas is like the 5th largest. I think, and then Florida is one, definitely one.
I think Illinois. I don't know.
It's There's
some mid
range, but I'm pretty sure Texas isn't one of the biggest. It's like the 5th biggest of the electoral. But anyway, we got
off of politics.
Yeah, get off politics, please. Far away. Let's get back over to where the media is ruining everyone's life because of food.
Well, I've noticed that a lot of the news is depressing. So I don't even watch the news.
Yeah, there's nothing happy ever going on ever because humans don't care about happy things. They care about chaos.
The news medias care about chaos because it gets the best story and that's how they get the viewers.
I heard a story about some guy. I don't know if it was a baseball game or something, but he had this sign on him that said like money for beer or something. I forgot what happened. And people gave this guy money for a beer, and he was gonna take all this money, like he got like $1 million. He was gonna donate it to charity for kids who needed help with something. And then somebody went on Twitter and found something he posted years ago, like when he was like a teenager, and it was like some bad racist stuff. And then I guess something happened to him. So it's like
pretty much that person exposed him. And,
it's like you can do a positive thing, and then someone will take a negative thing and completely flush down that positive thing that you did.
I will give a piece of advice for anybody looking to get into politics. Do me a favor. One day, if you're ever looking to get into politics, it could be something stupid like a school chairman or something, chairman of the board. Go through all your social media, all of it from years ago. Anything that you say that throws up red flags, get rid of it.
Delete it.
Because the media loves to eat it.
Delete your social media completely. Delete
all. You don't have to go that far.
Well, that's how people.
Purge all the bad out of your life.
Honestly, we probably should.
Because you're going to be under the spotlight, and anything that you said that didn't throw up red flags, years ago that does now, will come back and haunt you.
Yeah, because look what happened to James Gunn. Last year, the year before, where he got taken off of Guardians 3, and then it took like half a year for him to come back.
Do you think Disney's doing all of this because of the publicity? Because they took out Spider-Man.
Sure.
During this recording, they took out Spider-Man, and then just today, yesterday they put Spider-Man back. You know, so do you think there's a chance? And then they fired James Gunn, and then a couple months later, they took him back. Do you think they're doing that kind of thing possibly for publicity?
It could be. It's a good tactic.
Because every time they mess up something like that, they get backlash, and then okay, let's just change our minds again. And then
I feel like they do that as like a bargaining tactic because
it's working.
Because especially against Sony, because Sony is the real only competition now. I feel in films.
We'll see.
Pretty much.
Warner Brothers. Are they owned by Disney too?
No, but what has Warner Brothers actually made recently that
Justice League?
Well, that doesn't help their case. Like against a lot of the movies that they create, a lot of the movies that Disney put out, Warner Brothers would have the hero, the DC, and that does nothing. But like against Sony, where they were partnered with them, they let Sony walk away, or they made themselves walk away from it to make publicity to get at, for everyone to be mad at Sony. But there are the people that are woke like us that are also mad at Disney because Disney was being very greedy about it.
Sure.
And they ended up getting Spider-Man back anyway, and it worked out for them. And then there was also, hold on, sorry, I know you wanted to speak. There was also the rumors of them trying to get Apple to buy Sony to get the rights back without even having them touch Sony.
Garbage idea.
But I'm pretty sure if that was a rumor and not actual fact. But yeah. But anyway, Nick, go. Sorry.
See, Disney, in the case of Disney, it is now become a thing where if you live long enough, you see yourself become the villain. Because years ago, Disney was never like this. You know, it was all about family entertainment, and whatever bad things they had was under the skin.
Pretty much before Eisner.
Now, Disney seems like this big, like, corporate evil, like, company.
I think ever since Michael Eisner, actually. Which was, like, I think the 90s or late 80s. Early 90s.
Where it's like this big corporation that's like, okay, I'm going to buy you out. You're mine now. You're mine now. Where it's like they're on the verge of a monopoly. Disney.
But, right. You know that no one's going to actually let them become a monopoly.
Oh, absolutely. It's illegal. You can't.
Well, yeah, no, they're not going to let them get everything.
But they will get as close as possible before.
I feel like this is going to be the closest that they'll ever get.
Could be.
Because I highly doubt they'll ever. The chairman of Sony said he's never selling Sony ever.
I believe that.
He's not going to sell Sony.
It's a strong company.
He will never sell Sony, especially not to the Disney.
Making money off the PlayStation.
Yeah, and Spider-Man at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Far From Home was their most profitable movie ever. And that's mostly because of Endgame, but that's just a whole nother story. But that literally proves that, that they won't sell it because
I think this was a smart move for Sony to stick with the partnership in Disney, because they think that with the MCU, that's what I was trying to say. The MCU and the story behind Spider-Man, that's where they're getting all their interest in Spider-Man from there. It's the MCU is the big backbone that Sony's riding up.
Yeah, which is smart. Which is a smart thing.
Smart move, sure.
They and both sides wanted more from each other, and that's why there was that whole publicity thing, and the media went crazy, and we went crazy.
Thanks to Stan Lee's, God great writing has made this whole MCU thing possible, and then it's now just a big money pocket where everyone's buying merchandise.
Everybody is going all crazy about the MCU and everything. But we all forget that one of the first universes was the View Askew universe. Let's not forget that Kevin Smith came out with the View Askew universe long before.
Yeah, the first. Well, I don't think it was the first ever because.
Well, not the first, but it was one. It was like one of the older ones.
Didn't the director? Why can't I remember his name? Pulp Fiction and all those. He isn't. Weren't those kind of? Didn't he create like a kind of a universe between all of them technically? But it wasn't like in your face. It was more just like him walking around.
Casual, yeah.
But yeah, so like technically, yeah, Tarantino and View Askew with Kevin Smith.
Quentin Tarantino is one of the
Kevin Smith did a real good job actually with that. And I can't wait for Reboot, honestly. I can't wait to see Reboot. That comes out soon.
Oh, we'll see that in about a month.
Yeah.
Or less.
But, we talk about all these movies, but books, were the biggest thing. That's where most of the stuff comes from.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Many people don't seem to be reading anymore.
The MCU wouldn't even exist if
it wasn't for Stan Lee in the comics.
That's like, do you read? Do you read?
Sure.
What do you read?
I read books.
What kind of
okay, I know that, Nick. What kind of books?
I hope you read books.
Just generic story-based.
Like novels and fiction.
I like adventure novels, like stuff like that.
What are you reading right now? Are you reading anything in particular right now?
Not particular, actually. I just finished a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just finished. Believe it or not, I got back into the thing we watched in the English class, the book we read over there.
Kite Runner?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
what?
I watched.
You watched the Kite Runner again?
I did.
Yo.
That
was great.
So what book did you read that was...
I recently read, and I finished, Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh, I love that book.
Was it that?
That was the only book I read in school, in middle school.
What was that about?
It was
with the dogs, right?
Yes.
Dogs? What dogs?
Sad. You don't remember it?
I don't
remember. It was with the two dogs, and
dogs.
the kid with the two dogs, and then the dogs die at the end or something.
Yes.
Wait,
yeah, it's really sad.
What was it about?
It was about two dogs, and they went on an adventure, and they just died.
The dogs died at the end.
I'm not gonna read it.
I ruined
it. I have other
what
books I need to read right now.
I'm sorry.
What was the story with Lenny and then the other guy?
Of Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men. That was a good story too. I remember reading that.
Oh yeah, Lenny killed him. Lenny had.
You drip water.
Lenny had to get shot by George, right?
Yeah, that was at the end, and George strangled some girl or something like that.
Oh yeah, what was her name? Betty?
I don't remember.
No.
You don't remember what happened, but you remember the girl's name. And the townsfolk was chasing them, and George just ended up shooting him in the back of the head. It was a very sad story.
The Rabbits, George.
What was another thing we read? What was it called?
The Kite Runner was good.
Kite Runner.
That was the kid.
Amir and
Afghanistan.
Hassan.
Hassan. Yeah, Hassan died.
That was a good book.
Oh, I should probably not be spoiling.
I've been spoiling every book that we've been talking about.
I'm sure people.
But I'm sure that people that are listening and watching have probably
I don't
read
think
these
too
books.
many people
read these books. People, they're great.
I really don't think too many people are into reading.
Well,
I only read stuff that's like that kind of helps my brain. Like I'm more into improvement books and stuff
into intelligence books.
Yeah,
pretty much is what I like to call them.
For story-driven movies, I
like very cultural stories. Like The Kite Runner was a good book. It was talking about how the Russian invasion of Afghanistan and all that, and it was a really great story.
It had 9/11 in there too, because when he gets older and then he goes back, and that's the whole reason why he goes back.
It's always good to learn about the different cultures, and then
I know we read a lot of Shakespeare.
Involved in
what was that? I remember Othello. And
what was the one with the kid in the World War II? He was in the concentration camp.
X-Men. Magneto.
No.
It was a book we read, and they were on the train, and then he had his grandfather with him or something like that. Do you remember that?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
Remember Tuesdays with Maury?
Tuesdays with Maury was really good. I think. Why do I feel like that was part of the Tuesdays with Maury thing? I don't know. But Tuesdays with Maury was a very emotional book. Very emotional.
Man,
I never showed it, but it was very emotional. I never showed it because I was always trying to be a big tough guy.
What was another book?
But that's the thing. People don't want to read because they just rather watch a movie. They'd rather listen to something.
Yeah, when it comes to story driven stuff, honestly, I prefer the movie. I mean, like Harry Potter, I'm not going to read the books. I'm sorry, I don't have that much time on my hands.
Honestly, the books are actually really good. I'm actually thinking about wanting to reread them eventually. I don't have them all. I don't have them all, but eventually I want to get back to rereading them all, or at least listening to them.
I think reading is very beneficial for the mind, and sometimes we need to stop looking at a screen and we need to look at pages. In the light, of course. Sure. And we need to get our minds going, and to do that, I think it's good visual storytelling could be good done in the mind by reading a good story.
Books are very healthy for the mind.
I feel like a whole reason why a lot of kids are so lost right now is because so dysfunctional is because they didn't want to read, or that we have the technology where we don't have to read, and we don't let our imaginations go. When I was a kid,
social media literally can consume our brains. Yeah,
because when I was a kid, read books, I would literally see it in my mind. I would literally see what's happening in my mind.
The only time I got to watch a movie, the only time I got to watch a movie was when I'd go to Blockbusters and I would rent something on a Friday night.
Oh my god,
I miss Blockbuster.
And You have to go to Hollywood Video, and you'd get the DVD for the night, and you get the popcorn there, and then you'd have like a family movie night, or with your friends, and you like before like this crazy social media stuff, you'd have to get your friends together, and you'd have like a movie night at someone's house, and you get the squad together.
Yeah.
Squad. And you would watch like a bad movie or something at some bring snacks and stuff.
And we still do that. At least we try to do that.
Yeah, we actually we try to it's always good to which goes back to you need to have social interactions in person, not through the phone.
Yeah.
So much better.
Through internet.
Stop get off the internet and hang out with your friends.
Get a book.
Make time for your friends.
Get a book, get your friends,
Yeah.
It's always good to make circles,
You don't
staying
have to
inside your own little circle.
Just because you have access to the internet doesn't mean you have to
use it all the time.
Yeah, and you don't have to be alone. It's better to get to hang out with your friends than I'd rather hang out with my friends than play a video game by myself all night. If you're gonna play video games, at least play with your friends, like next to each other. Like when Mike and I, and even you, sometimes you play Call of Duty Zombies for hours.
Around 50.
Yeah, for.
Kino der Toten. So great. Those were great times, honestly. Just hanging out, like being together, like listening to music, playing video games together. Going to the park together, hanging out together. Where people don't really do that too much.
Nothing
anymore.
on the internet you do will ever come close to memories like that. Ever. Now those are mind stimulants. Now you could just go back and
those things you go to that place and you just see it in your head. You just remember it. Yeah. Like, because when I would go to my neighborhood park all the time, I always remember those times when I was in 6th grade, 7th grade. My friends and I, that lived around my neighborhood, we would just hang out. We would just sit on the swings all day.
Yeah, I always said reflect on old memories, but always remember to create new memories.
Yeah,
because memories do not stop.
Your memories aren't going to be about sitting behind a chair on the TV screen.
When you're an old man, do you want to just remember yourself playing video games by yourself on the freaking internet, on Twitter all the time? Or do you want to remember your good times with going out with your friends and having a few drinks, or maybe a lot of drinks, maybe a lot of drinks?
At the end of the day, life is meaningless up until the end of the day. Where when you're old, you're in your retirement home somewhere, or you're at home with your family.
Or in your deathbed. And
your grandkids are there. The end of the day, all that matters is the stories that you tell your grandkids about what you did in your life. Because they will get that through their heads, and they will live with that in there. And then that's your experiences passing down.
You leave your legacy.
You leave your legacy, that's right.
Now, how do you want that legacy to be, is the question.
Exactly.
When you go to bed each night, you should ask yourself, did I do everything I could have today to make my life, better? If I would not wake up tomorrow, would I be happy of what I accomplished?
If you have to ask yourself, is what I did today one day I'm gonna get my grandkids?
Could this have been the best day of my life?
Tell them I did this, and then they're gonna be like, "Wow, you know what? My granddad was actually pretty cool, or my grandmother was pretty cool." Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Create stories that you could tell to your grandkids one day. Create great memories that don't involve you in front of a stupid screen.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Something where if you let's say we all go to retirement home together, we all just sit around eating our tapioca, talking about all the good times we had back in the day.
Tapioca, and I'll be eating those omelets, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like.
Well, I know this man will be eating all the tapioca.
Wow, 50 years from now, it's going to be 2050. Wait, 2070.
Yeah, they'll have...
Wow.
2070.
We'll be old people and we'll have access to sex bots.
In the retirement.
Send the blowjob robot in again.
He's getting hungry. Please. Oh, he's a little cranky. Give him Sally and she'll help him out.
Please.
Hello.
Sally 2.0.
Hello.
I am an upgrade of previous son.
Tony.
Tony, what?
I am Tony.
No. I don't want Tony. I want Sally.
Yeah.
You do you.
Tony Ann. Tony Ann.
Yeah, better, yeah.
Tony Ann.
Tony with an I.
By that time, technology will be progressed to that point.
Yeah.
Forget about it. 1,000 years from now, we're going to be like Futurama, where we're just going to be heads in floating jars.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish when I die, they take my consciousness and put it into a computer program, so I can still live my life.
You're going to be
forever.
a robot for the rest of your life.
No, I wouldn't be a robot. My consciousness will be inside of technology.
What are you gonna see? What are you gonna know?
Well, they need to create a program of the Earth, and just recreate Earth in this
iRobot.
Well, no. iRobot is when all the robots like kill people, but no, not like that. It's more of like you put your
watch it.
It's a great movie, but no, but you put your consciousness into this computer program, and the computer program pretty much is like the world, and so you just pretty much relive your life.
Oh, like that guy from The Winter Soldier.
Stuff like that.
Well, no, that's different. He just put his consciousness in there, but it's not like a program. It's more of just like he lives in the technology, where you live and you see. He can see outward, but you see inward. Inside the program, he sees outward towards Captain America.
See, that's stuff that humanity still can't even figure out. We can't even figure out ourselves. Can you define, Mike? Can you define what consciousness is?
What I'm doing right now.
But what is
up until the point of when I can't move? I am conscious.
It's internal thoughts It's internal thoughts.
What is it physically though?
Being alive, basically.
My heart beats. My brain is moving inside my skull, and it's processing everything that's going on right now. It's pretty much consciousness. How I feel.
It's really something that science can't really figure out. It's one of those things that I don't know, technology wise may not be able to improve.
As long as you don't get brain dead.
Yeah, that's the problem. Well, I think this was really, really good, honestly.
Yeah, man.
We did really we've really put this out. Put all of our cards on the table with that one.
I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yeah,
we're probably gonna wrap it up here because I have to go and I have a couple things I have to do.
Yeah. So, thank you all for definitely listening in to our second podcast. We will definitely have another one coming up soon. Nick may be in the third one. Nick may not. It all depends on his schedule and if we have another person come in.
Yeah, we love having Nick on our stuff.
Yeah.
So, Nick, give a little shout out to your stuff.
Well, I'd like to thank the people that are listening. We can't do it without you. Just stay tuned. We'll have much more videos coming out. I'll definitely try.
Tell me your Twitter that you were telling me about.
What Twitter? What?
Twitch.
Twitch. My gaming thing.
Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
No, I don't even care about it.
Okay. Follow All Games Apparel on Instagram and
Twitter and Facebook.
Yep, and then you can subscribe, and subscribe if you like our content, and if you want to see more. And
yes.
We got a couple of videos coming out as well for you guys, so stay tuned to that. Yep. And do us all a favor. Keep going. Stay strong. Keep hitting the gym. Eat healthy. See your friends. Make love to your wives.
Live your fucking life the way you want to.
People of the world, please. Yeah. Stay woke.
Yeah. Stay woke and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something.
Yeah.
So, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Bye.